Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Subs Lie Dubs Lie. It's your boy Jay, aka Versace Vegeta. I'm here with my dog D. How are you doing, brother?
What's going on, brother Jay? What's going on, people? We are back at it again.
That's
we have
right.
to do it right.
It's session 55, and it is the season finale of season 5.
Crazy, isn't it?
Wild how this works out, man. Just crazy how that turned out to be. But this week, we are joined with a couple of special guests as we are diving into a topic that, if y'all been rocking with us since the beginning, it's our home topic, man.
Yeah, man. That's our bread and butter.
We've got a couple of great Dragon Ball content creators because this week we're trapped and betrayed and locked in the hyperbolic time chamber with our guy SmugStick. Welcome to the pod, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, y'all.
Of course. And we are also joined by one of the biggest ball knowers with Dragon Ball out there. Like, listen, like there's people that think they know Dragon Ball, and there's people that have actually read Dragon Ball. There's the animated mind. How are you doing today?
Hey, y'all. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Very glad to be joined by the both of y'all.
And it's a pleasure. You take all the guests we can.
Why Look, you like that?
Well, because it's one of those things where, like, we love talking with between the two of us anytime. But when you get some other folks like in the mix to be able to talk about these topics, like it just makes for a even better episode, honestly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So before we get into everything Goku and Vegeta this week, how y'all doing?
Good. Been having a good time just working on new stuff, keeping myself busy, but having the time of my life.
Very glad to hear it.
Hell yeah.
I am trying to take a page out of SmugStick's book and get on this work. I have so many videos and things planned, and I'm just, it's like I'm trying not to get to that point because I'm like work, but I still want to have fun with the work.
Absolutely.
I mean, I got away from the rat race to do what I like to do. So this is all.
Well, you just got to live that Toriyama, way of the way of the turtle school, right? Play hard, eat hard, work hard. Make sure you rest and enjoy it. And it sounds like you got the structure there. So as long as you can, you'll be able to, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe in it.
All in all, I'm good though.
Glad to hear.
That's what we love to hear, man. As for me, same old. Can't complain. You know what I'm saying? Been a great week for me. Got to watch some good old anime. Got to watch some Dragon Ball. So that's always fun. That's always fun. Like, as much as of a fan I am about Dragon Ball, like, realistically speaking, I don't ever just check episodes like that. If I want to see a certain panel, I'll just go ahead. I like know most of the panels that I like by a chapter with ease. But this time I got to watch it on the big screen, and man, I was impressed. Like, it felt like I was riding a bike for the first time. Like, that's what we were watching.
Yeah, especially with so many different topics that we've had to cover this season. It's really good to be able to just say, like, you know what? Let's slide back in home, right? And just go to something where it's like, okay, my mind isn't going to be broken in the best ways or the worst ways with the topic, right? Like, it's not like an Evangelion where it's like, okay, this is going to be my next 3 weeks, right? Even though I've recorded it just 2 weeks ago, it feels good to like come back into something that I'm familiar with, especially as we are. I know 3 of us here are gamers. Tiffany, please don't feel excluded from this, but we're ending what's known as the 10th anniversary of Dokkan Battle now. And Smug, do you play Dokkan as well?
Yes, not as much as I used to before, but I've been playing since day one, and I've spent more money on that game than I would like to admit.
Lord knows
I
we
think
all.
I think
So
man.
yeah, like right now we're coming towards the end of the 10th year anniversary, and it's just been so cool, like having the game basically throw opportunities at us.
Yeah.
Get so many great units and such. So to be able to actually watch Dragon Ball after having popped all these bubbles, grinded for links, and gone to different story events, and tried my best to get past battle hardened stages.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man!
Feels good to be able to watch it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Rewatch those super attack animations too
Yes!
many times. Gotta see where it all began.
Absolutely, and honestly, it's been one thing because like we all have been really watching Dragon Ball on a weekly basis for the past 20 plus weeks, because Dragon Ball Daima itself has just ended last week. And with that in mind, I know we've got a group of Dragon Ball knowers in here. Tiffany, let's get you back in on the conversation. What were your thoughts on Dragon Ball Daima's finale, the series at large? Just anything that you want to discuss about Daima.
It's so funny that you saying I'm a ball knower, but I'm very controversial with Daima. I stopped watching after episode 12, not because I didn't love it, because I was going hard for Daima, but the whole Super Saiyan 3 thing kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I have to I'm sensitive. So I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Let me take a step back from this. So
you weren't a fan of Ultra Vegeta 1.
You know what? I'm on this page.
I felt some type of way about it because just based on the amount of time in the manga it takes Vegeta to actually catch up, I felt like it was a little too soon after the Buu saga. Mm-hmm.
So it's only been 6 months,
it's
right?
It's only been 6 months. Like, get out of here. I love you, Tori, but man,
I don't buy it. So it made me feel some type of way, and I was like, let me take a step back from this. But I'm still active on Twitter, so I still see stuff. So I am familiar with the kind of polarization that the Daima finale caused with the fandom, particularly with Super Saiyan 4, which I also think is kind of nuts. But I saw how it made people respond. So, but all in all, aside from personal feelings about the show, because I am going to get around to watching it because it's Dragon Ball and I can't help myself. I love that Daima exists. I love that it generated so much fresh and new Dragon Ball conversation, for better or for worse. And I'm just looking forward to the future of Dragon Ball, especially given the interviews from the powers that be that came out about kind of how they see the future of Dragon Ball going. Yeah. So I just think I loved seeing that Buu saga animation, that fresh one, that it just gives me just hope and chills for like the future. So I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
How about you, Smug?
See, and it's relevant to the conversation because we're talking about the Buu arc today as well, but the Buu arc is my favorite, which is kind of crazy for a lot of people. And
I can understand why. Yeah.
So a direct sequel to the Buu arc is something so insane to me. That's because like we've had Resurrection F and Superhero, which are like somewhat sequels to arcs that have come before, but they're so disconnected. Yes. Daima is so direct, and it's just so insane to me. I've had a really good time with it. I need to rewatch it one more time because my girlfriend's a really big fan of the dub, so we're gonna rewatch it. And and especially with Stephanie being back as Goku, I'm excited to see how that comes down. I've had my issues with it, but I did love the ride. I love watching Dragon Ball week to week. Just it's just such a unique experience that we haven't had since Super. So I love the discussions and the theorizing that I was doing week to week. I'm gonna have to revisit it with fresh eyes, just multiple times in the future, just to see exactly where I land with it. But overall, like Tiffany said, just I really appreciate that it exists, and I'm just happy that it's around, regardless of how it'll go down in history. But yeah, I had a fun time with it.
Personally, it's one of those things where I am doing my best to say, like, is this recency bias or is this what I feel, right? Because I am prone to excitement. I am prone to being like just like instantly adulated with something if it's cool enough, right? Like I'm the opposite of the guy that like in the meme of, you know, that meme that's like coolest fucking thing ever. I'm the opposite of that guy. I'm like, coolest thing ever. It's the coolest fucking thing ever. How could you not think it's the coolest fucking thing ever, right?
Absolutely.
So like I definitely have that surge of I'm happy to see my favorite Super Saiyan form get a new rendition, with it even a different take on it. It's not like, it blows my mind to see people say like, oh my god, like this is just outdoing or undoing GT, because like, no, this is a whole different it's Super Saiyan 4, but it's its own Super Saiyan 4, right? And it's its own moment, and we have these things that are separate to themselves, where it's like, hey, like this is, now I can just say, okay, cool, this is what they did right after Boo, right? Do I care that Goku never used Super Saiyan 4 and Super? No, I don't, because Goku is Goku is Toriyama to me, right? In the sense that Toriyama forgets shit, or would forget shit all the time, right? Absolutely. And would just be like, hey man, for the bit, this just don't call for that. So for the bit, I could understand Goku just being like, yeah, I forgot I could even do that at some point. That's my own headcanon, but I feel like it's easier to follow that than to be like, okay, so there's this one timeline where they go there, and there's this one timeline where they go there, and then there's GT off on its lonesome. I just feel like it's easier to just be like, this all happened. It all happened. So go ahead.
I get that Super Saiyan 4 brings the hype, but for me, and I know I need to watch like the other half of the show, but for me, it was episode 8. Goku was working, Yoimo out. Love that fight, and just the way the episode opened, it was straight hands. Like Daima did.
Those back-to-backs with like Goku and Glorio, and then Goku and Tamagami 3, like that was like, okay, this is what Daima is. Yes. It really set the tone for the rest of it. And if we could just, even for like, if you were not to look at the rest of it and look at that, you could say, man, this is a new peak for Dragon Ball right here.
Absolutely. Man, I forgot, like, and I know it's gonna sound very crazy, but when I watched Daima, like, I really don't care about Super. Like Super was there for me because I wanted more Dragon Ball content. For better or worse, you know how I feel about certain arcs. Like, I hate Revival of F. I hate that movie. It sucks. But,
same here.
Like, well, yeah, Vegeta. But yeah, so to me, and this is my own speculation, I feel like this is the way how Toriyama truly wanted to continue his series in a sense. So I don't really like, I look at Super as we needed to do something in regards to Dragon Ball, because it's not a dying cow yet, but
Super's like proof of concept of we can do more Dragon Ball.
Yeah, if you could look at Super Dragon Ball Heroes as its own thing, you could look at Super as its own thing. I feel like this is the closest thing to Toriyama's writing from the 90s as much as possible. So Super, I like some of the moments, but Daima, it took the cake for me, man. It felt good. It felt like I was watching the OG Dragon Ball, and you can't replicate that in Super like that at all.
Daima has quality over the quantity that Super has.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, even the one episode that people call filler, I don't see it as filler. I see it as just like, of course, you got to have a little breather episode. You got to have, like, you know, the episode where they're in the Village with the Giants and whatnot. I saw people call that filler, and I'm just like,
oh, brother.
do you not know how breather episodes work? Do you not know how just like a light adventure works? Like, if this is what this show is supposed to be, of course there's going to be an episode where there's no fighting or anything. It's just like, hey, this is a weird place. It's the demon realm. We've never experienced it. Right?
Yeah.
So for me, it goes 20 out of 20. I understand. I do understand the different takes and everybody can have on it, and I and there are points where it's like, no, that's valid. Why does Vegeta have this 6 months later? Yeah, come on. Like you telling me he went to the time machine when they were barely even thinking about that thing during the blue arc? Come on, like I don't buy it.
We talked about this in the episode, but like he couldn't even catch up after 7 years. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, we piling on Vegeta. Let's go. So Vegeta, let's go. So Mr. Vegeta-san, look, man. For every time everybody says, "Oh, Toriyama just hates him," he hates him. I never seen a character get so much preferential treatment in the entire series. Toriyama's favorite character is Piccolo, and we just like what 3 years ago, we got something to dedicate to his favorite character that he's made. So all the wow, look at Vegeta, he lost. He didn't get to kill Frieza. I'm like, bro. What are you worried about that, man?
You know, my enemy is Koyama and not Toriyama, so I'm not like them. I know who to direct my anger at. It's the movies and the anime. Everything aside from that, I'm like, okay, cool, I get it.
Maybe it's the Vegeta show.
Yeah, it's been that for like a good decade plus.
Yeah. The Namek saga was like Vegeta doing his stuff, featuring Goku-san and his best friend. You know what I mean? Like,
man, that man dominates the whole entire series. Yeah. So again,
period.
Yeah. That's a good guy. He doesn't beat anybody. Like, well, man, that's on him.
He doesn't need to. That's not the point. That's not the show.
He's meant to be the jackass, and never like that, man. I like when he get punks.
That's why I call myself a real Vegeta fan. I don't have expectations of this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
don't put him in no FC role.
Outside of him not beating Frieza in Resurrection F, right? I understand every L he's ever taken. I just personally take that one a little to the chest.
He shouldn't have been talking so much. Like, just blast him.
Man, that was
Goku. Literally, we have an episode where we talk about that movie. I go on a whole tangent. I'm like, what the fuck were y'all thinking?
I didn't like the movie, but I enjoyed that, man.
I swear, I was Chris Tucker watching him like over. I'm like, shoot him.
Yes.
No, man. Us Krillin fans are the ones that are suffering.
Oh my god!
My boy doesn't get anything to do. He gets to not go after Pan when she's falling off the plane or whatever was happening. Fly, Pan, fly, grab her. I don't know, man.
Krillin had an entire Dark Night of the Soul little mini arc in Super.
That was fine.
It was so good.
It's so good, and they don't do anything with that.
Like for him to get eliminated that fast in the tournament after spending like a good 3 episodes on it, I was kind of pissed.
Building up the whole idea that this is the strongest human, and then they're like, okay, welcome to the tournament of power.
I'm blaming that on Toei, man.
It's even worse. Yeah. It's even worse in the manga because they get eliminated so fast, and Goku's like, "Damn, y'all out already!"
That boy Toyotaro, man. I've been trying to ease up on him, but it's Toyotaro. Yo, that manga.
No,
I ain't gonna say nothing, man.
You know what I do appreciate? From Toyotaro is in the readaptation of Superhero, because everybody's doing something against Cell Max at the end there. 18 and Krillin break one of his wings. Goten and Trunks do poses with the Gammas and fight Cell Max. That was in for that. I was super in.
He is making small steps to mitigate things, so it's like I'm gonna give him his flowers in that regard. And usually I defend Homeboy, but like. This new fantasy cover that for volume
Oh,
starting five.
Oh, the starting five.
It's that man. That is not Goku. Who is that man?
That's some fan edits. What do they call that? Dragon Ball Kakume, whatever. I had a kid
Oh
tell
yeah,
me
it does feel like that. It totally feels like that.
Bro, look, oh my god, look. Cedric, I love you to death. My homie will send me like the videos from like YouTube or like Dragon Ball like Absalon and stuff. Be like, is this a new thing? I'm like, nah, bro, like that's somebody's like shit, man. And it's like, yeah, that's cool to see, but like that stuff be tricking people. Like all
Yeah.
the things like be tricking the fuck out of people, bro. And like sometimes that's where I be like, okay, when I'm having a conversation with somebody online about Dragon Ball, I'm like, okay, what are you going by? You know what I mean?
You better than me. I don't talk Dragon Ball with nobody on Twitter.com because it's about 90% of them that don't even understand the series that they watch. So I'm good on that.
I feel for the two of y'all, Tiffany and Smug, so much because I see the comment sections for y'all's posts.
We be going
Oh,
through it.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
What is it? Okay, so as Dragon Ball content creators yourselves, like, what is it like to have to sift through fan fiction and fiction?
See, I don't read comments anymore on YouTube. As much as I can help it, because that just hurts my soul.
That's why you're my favorite Dragon Ball YouTuber.
I like respond like the first hour, maybe, because after that it just becomes successful. And on Twitter it's just even worse. You and especially with the way Twitter has been recently, because of you know who.
Yeah.
It's just it's a little painful. I try to ignore the ones because I don't want to also spread negativity, and if I respond too passionately to other people, it's just gonna end up looking bad. I'm just gonna say something really mean to someone, and I'm just gonna feel bad in the end. Just like I'm just gonna ignore it.
And that's why specifically I asked y'all about this. So what were you about to say, Tiffany?
No, I was saying Smug said you don't want me to speak because when I speak, my feelings get hurt.
Honestly, that's why I asked the two of y'all about this, because I noticed, like, as content creators that are like really into the Dragon Ball space, y'all two are two people that I know for sure, like, you don't really get too much into the tangential, like, argumentative stuff, but you still have these responses,
Baby.
right?
Mhm.
So it's just like, how do you, especially for like you, Tiffany, like as a woman, like I know
that's
got
tough.
to be, as a woman creator in Dragon Ball, like I feel for you so much.
Honestly, I'm tough. I'm sensitive.
Oh yeah.
I'm sensitive, but I'm tough. Like people say stuff to me, and it's like I pick and choose when I engage. There are so many people that I just will instantly just block. You done. You're out.
Yeah.
Go away. You get done. Like, and then I have people come back and say, "Well, I just think it's extreme." They come back on their burner account. I just think it's extreme to block me. Well, it's extreme over here, baby. It get real extreme. So but there are some people, like when people try to kind of challenge, like for instance, I posted something about like Yamcha and Bulma a long time ago, and my comment section got crazy, of course, because that's a controversial relationship. And somebody said, well, to be fair, all this happened in the anime. I said,
No, not really. You wasn't reading. You wasn't reading
in the manga.
Man.
How are you gonna make an argument and it's just anime only? And I'm like, y'all.
Y'all not reading.
That's so crazy.
And those are the nice comments. I ain't talking, the disrespectful.
Oh yeah, pack them up. Yo, Jay, remember the time when he said, like, yo, Frieza did not make the Saiyan slaves, and oh my god, bro, I was sitting there like, damn, they sending some of God's stupidest soldiers out.
So like, literally, we were doing. I put out a tweet about someone who talked about how the Saiyans are slaves, and like that compared them to Black Americans, right? And I was like, okay, but like the Saiyans weren't slaves
No,
though.
they
Like
weren't
they were
slaves.
indentured servants in the sense that they were used as an army, but they weren't like enslaved. They got to live on their own planet. They got to live within their own culture. They got to do their own shit. It's just Frieza every now and again would be like, hey, yo, it's time to go to work. And they would have to go.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, man.
And you have no idea how many people were coming at us like telling us like, no, they were enslaved. Look at this clip of the dub where it says they were slaves. And I'm like, that's your first mistake.
That's why we got the title of the pod like that. Cause I'm like, bro, he never said hello monkeys. Like that's just dub jargon. You know what I'm saying?
That's so
I'm sitting there like, bro, did you read it? Did you watch it? Oh no, but he said, okay, cool. I get it. You're very
Frieza's a racist. And it's like, no, he's the evil real estate person who's just now evil badass. That's just all he is, man. Like, yes, did he focus on the Saiyans in terms of using them as an army? For certain, right? But like, there's other races that were subjugated. That's why the entire Frieza force is multiple alien races, right? Like, it's not that they were like enslaved in the sense of like actual slavery. It's just that, yo, y'all work for him now. There's a different connotation in how the two events went, you know?
It's like it was like a hierarchy, but Frieza's a CEO that might kill you.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's literally it. Yeah, you like he pays y'all. Y'all still have y'all still get to y'all get fly armor. Y'all get spaceships. Like, I'm sorry. When did slaves ever get spaceships?
Man, they be really white knighting for Saiyans, and I'm saying here like, bro, these people was bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got a planet that was off. They got to share a planet. And what did these suckers do?
They said, go fuck yourself.
Hey, I'm supposed to feel bad for them? I'm sorry.
They literally came to a planet that was not their own. The people were like, hey, yo, we'll share it with y'all. And they were like, yeah, share.
Yeah, share.
Do you know how much Frieza let Vegeta get away with? Run around on Namek like a roach until he finally was done with it and was like, look, I'm not about to keep playing with you.
It was cute until now. Like now, where's my Dragon Balls? You know what I mean? Like,
It's funny because
fun. It's over.
It's funny because I did a video about the Dragon Ball specials that aren't as well known, and I talked about the plan to eradicate the Saiyans, and in there's one line that Vegeta says at the very end to Dr. Raichi, where he says, "Oh, the Tuffles enslaved us Saiyans. Where does this come from? What? This is never brought up again." This is Vegeta just pulls that out.
Everything I ever Vegeta is just like right-wing Saiyan. You know what I mean? He's like, no, I don't like the idea of people replacing the Saiyans. Y'all did us terribly. When it's just like, no, they just wanted to live with y'all. Like they really just, they let y'all come there. And y'all just took over. And you're like, but this is the homeland of the Saiyans. What are you talking about? Like, make Vegeta great again.
He's the one that came with the whole elite and not even like he was on that BS. Like,
got his behind jump. I was clapping every day.
Damn, and that's crazy because like it's like when you think about it, now he lives on Earth, so like his political leanings like mean nothing now, right? Like Oma is definitely like the left-leaning, like well-meaning lady that married a right-winger. It's like this whole thing will change. No, we're just lucky Vegeta wound up the way he does wind up, as opposed to like fucking the Saiyans, damn it. You know what I mean? But right, when it comes to Vegeta and Goku, right? In Dragon Ball Z, these two are basically the ultimate rivals, right?
I don't even consider him a rival.
I would say in the sense of how the story is presenting it to us, Vegeta is chasing Goku. Goku is going about his own life.
Yeah, it's one-sided. It's not a rivalry.
Yeah, that's just obsession. We already told you that Vegeta got CTE from now being took season 2. How many times he got whooped? How many times he got cracked in the head? He doesn't know better. He's obsessed with this man. He's wondering how a man that he was throwing hands on, beating the hell out of, just magically surpassed him in about 10 days. So I get it, but then it got pathetic, pathetic.
I have to state, like, it is Ultimate Rivals with the asterisk, because if we believe how rivals are it's supposed to be believed as, right? They're not. But we've watched anime for decades now. Every rivalry that's considered the top rivalry is a one-sided rivalry.
Yeah,
if we're going by anime terms, it's a rivalry.
Really? I mean, because Naruto and Sasuke, they kind of equally obsessed. Killua and Gon, they kind of equal. I don't see it. It's not a rivalry. It's a one-sided obsession.
If Goku beat you, you're not his rival no more. That's just what it boils down to.
And that's because he wasn't even worried about, like, once he saw what Vegeta was rocking with on Namek, he was like, he ain't even. Nah, I'm good. We ain't even gotta have a rematch, bro. We good.
My man came for one day and was like, okay, I'm just here to just have fun. I'm not stressing about Vegeta. Who's stressing about him? He's a punk.
It's just, we know Japanese stories love having that, like, one aloof character and then the one character that's super serious about it. Yeah. Right.
Great dynamic.
I will say, before anybody brings it up, people will talk about Elder Kai, calling them, saying that they live to outdo each other.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, that was a lie. And second of all, how would you know that? You've been trapped in a sword. You don't know what you're
talking about. 5 minutes ago.
You got put in a sword by Beerus. You're not talking about you.
How you gonna say Goku lives to outdo a man when he just fresh off being dead for 7 years? What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about.
You heard Vegeta's name for the first time 2 minutes ago.
Thank you.
Exactly.
So I don't care about the whole rivalry boost. It's non-existent.
Nah.
I agree with all of this. It's if they're selling it to us, that who did Super end with, right? To staring each other down, right? Like Dragon Ball's gonna sell this is a rivalry, whether it is really or not. I feel like we can really deduce that it ain't.
I'm blaming it on Toei.
It's Super. It's a rivalry, sure, yeah, because they're kind of neck and neck. They go back and forth.
At that point, yeah.
But in Z,
right.
You bent the knee. He said, "Yo, you're number one." So when Super came, like, I get it, bro. But I you know how I feel about Vegeta, Jay. So it is what it is.
And that's why I am going to love this episode, because this week we are going to be covering both Goku versus Vegeta in the Saiyan saga and Goku versus the Prince of Destruction Vegeta in the Majin Buu saga. And we're going to sum up these fights and compare which one was more impactful, which one meant more, and how do these reflect on the characters themselves. It's gonna be a fun one. So y'all tune in after the break as we get into Goku versus Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z and really get down to the nitty-gritty of, was this whole quote-unquote rivalry necessary?
Goku, the world's strongest. Defender of humanity. When the Earth is in jeopardy, he's its greatest champion.
I know the odds are against me, but if there's a way to win, I'm gonna find it.
Dragon Ball Z, weekdays at 5:30. Full power, only tomorrow. Vegeta, full-blooded Super Saiyan. Heir to royalty, destined to rule the universe. His ruthless fighting skills are feared by many.
You should know better than to oppose Vegeta.
And he's taking all comers.
Don't ever try to stop me.
Dragon Ball Z, weekdays at 5:30. Power up. Only Toonami.
So, When it comes to Goku and Vegeta, you know, from the first time that we're introduced to these two as against each other, it's pretty clear on what the basis of that first confrontation is about, right? Because this is really just Vegeta just being at the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Vegeta having been informed about the Dragon Balls from Raditz, he and Nappa come to Earth a year later. Goku having been killed by Piccolo in the attempts to stop Raditz is now being brought back to life, right? So by the time Nappa and Vegeta arrive, clearly it's just a dominant wipeout. They're wiping out cities, they're wiping out Goku's friends, right? Like, hell, they themselves didn't even have to touch Yamcha.
Nah, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So
Yamcha.
Goku, fresh off of having trained with King Kai, like he's basically introduced as Earth's greatest hope against a Saiyan invasion because Piccolo just got done in.
That was just crazy.
And we didn't even know up till now that like it would be that important if Piccolo died, because now, you know, the Dragon Ball is gone, right? Like it was kind of teased during the end of Dragon Ball, but because it doesn't happen, you don't even think about it.
You thinking it's a bluff.
Exactly. Now we see some real ramifications from it. So Goku, being the low-class warrior who was sent to Earth, Vegeta being the elite prince of the Saiyans, have this clash. When we talk about these two characters, what are the characteristics that y'all feel really embody these characters that define this moment?
For Vegeta, I would say a sense of superiority, because that's what his life has proven to him so far as the Saiyans go. He's the top dog, and no one can stand up to him. So he carries this sense of just confidence. He's also brutal, but he's very cool about it. Like we see Vegeta being very level-headed until he's reining Nappa in, and until you know Goku actually goes Kaioken time on him. For the most part, he's cool as a cucumber, because he knows that he's that guy. So I just get a lot of confidence from Vegeta, confidence that he can back up, because these fighters are dropping like flies. With Goku, he's died, but we see him on his journey, you know, on Snake Way to get back to the living world. He's kind of playful when he leaves King Kai's planet, and he's very determined. He realizes that he needs to lock in. So it's really just our same Goku, but now he's about to have that itch scratch that he loves so much, that itch of, this is an opportunity for me to get even stronger on the heels of already training with King Kai. So it's just, we're seeing a Goku who's about to have the battle of his life, and it's about to lead to like the leveling up of his life. So for me.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's a very correct assessment of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are the points of this battle between the two, right? Because from the time that Vegeta straight up just acknowledges to Goku, like saying like, you don't have a chance, right? You were just a dog out in space. You're nothing to me. I'm the proud elite, and it's time to show you why. And then Goku just being like, yeah, well, I mean, shit, I've worked super hard my whole life, and that might have a lot more on you than someone who's just always been the strongest, right? What impressions did those leave on y'all when you first watched this battle?
For me, I've always one way I've described Goku that I think this fight really exemplifies, and especially that moment, because I love that scene. Every time I see it in a video game, I quote it bar for bar. Just I love, an elite. I'll show you a wall that no amount of hard work can ever surpass, and that kind of thing. But I think Goku is a culmination of a lot of things, and I see Vegeta as a Goku who never had that lesson that Roshi taught him during the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, that there's always gonna be someone stronger than you. Goku had that. And because of that, Goku is able to learn from his losses. He's able to learn from those around him, from the people he works with, his friends, his masters, and his enemies. And I think with Vegeta, with how easy everything always was for him, he never had to learn. He never had to evolve. And I think to some degree, that speaks a lot afterwards when he, even in the same fight, when he has to use the Kienzan from Krillin, or when he learns how to read Ki. That's Vegeta already changing and already realizing, dang, like Goku, he hates to admit it, of course, but he's probably right. Like, you can't just rely on being superior just because you were born that way, just because of your birthright. You have to learn and evolve and maybe not necessarily like leaning on other people, but learning from other people is extremely valuable. And I think that is a lesson that I've taken with me through my whole life. Seeing how there's always someone ahead of me, and there's always, like, in work and in money, anything. There's always going to be someone ahead, but that's kind of exciting. That's just the stepping stone. That's just a challenge. It's not, you don't need to be jealous. You can see it as a way for you to improve because you know what your goal is.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
That's so true. That actually, that led to what I was about to ask the two of you next. That's a great answer that you gave, Smug, because I was going to ask, as Dragon Ball content creators, all of us have made pieces of content that were either directly acknowledging this, or we're paying homage to this fight or these moments for these characters, right? So what's a piece of work that either you've done already or something that maybe you're working on that like pays homage to this in a way where it's like, no, like that's my favorite time I've ever covered this?
I mean, these fights?
Yeah.
For me, it would be a thread that I did on Majin Vegeta last year, where I was just reading the arc again randomly one night, and I was like, hold up, Vegeta got off way too easy for this. way too easily. And then when I started to read the fight, not to go too deep into it yet, but when I started to read the fight and just, kind of reading, his reasoning and his rationale and how Goku just kind of kept clocking him every step of the way. And he was like, so you with all your pride, you let yourself be the best for a little power up. And it was just him saying, like the little increase in power. And I was like, he really hitting him like where it hurts.
Yes.
Just very casually doing it. And it just made me think about the difference in how they approach just how it took him so long to actually realize, like he made the steps, like by, learning how to read Ki and, actually training to get where he wanted to go, but he still really missed the mark. And he kind of gets it when he sees Goku fight Kid Buu, and he admits that he's number one, and he kind of sees, Goku for who he is. Like, Goku has always tried to outdo himself. And when Goku sees someone who's stronger, he has had, little moments here and there where he's gotten cocky. And, like in Dragon Ball, Mr. Popo had to let his ass go. Like, so, like just moments like that. But for the most part, Goku is always trying to be better than the person that he was yesterday. And sometimes he will get comfortable and think that he reached his peak. Like in the first fight with Vegeta, he was like, "Dang, I thought I went as high as I could go under King Kai, but this person's made me see a whole new world." And I think that thread is my favorite. He's kind of speaking to, one of their fights, because it just really, really drives home the difference between them. Like, we're seeing not just a long-awaited rematch, so to speak. We're seeing a clash of ideals.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing how different they are with how they look at improvement and their reasons for it. Not, one wanting to kind of lord his superiority, the other one saying, I just need to remain a student. I need to remain a student eternally, because that's the only way I'm really going to push past my limitations. I don't know. It just really, it came that, just seeing it in that fresh way, it came to me at a time in my life where I needed to check my own motivations.
Oh, wow.
About, like, why do I want the things that I want? And, if I look back over the last 5 years, how have I surpassed Tiffany from 2020?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just, Dragon Ball just does that for me.
Absolutely.
How about you, Smug?
For me, I have two that I tangentially related to the fights, but not extremely directly. One I did was a video on the Saiyan hierarchy and explaining, by gathering information from various interviews with Toriyama and guidebooks and stuff like that, about how the Saiyan hierarchy actually works.
I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah.
We had season 2 was on the history of the Saiyans. And that's a video I used for a reference.
Oh,
yeah,
fire! I love that video, and in it I talk about a little bit about how tragic it is that they were stuck in this system perpetuated through their monarchy and in a grander way Frieza, that Vegeta was almost like a victim of. Like, he was willingly a part of it, and he was he obviously perpetuated himself, but. I also made one about the Bardock special and analyzing the tragedy of Bardock and how it directly links to this first fight against Vegeta and the grander Frieza arc, and how it needed to be someone so different from what the Saiyans were, someone who didn't believe in that kind of system, who didn't believe that someone could just be naturally better than others just because of how they were born. So Goku had to be the one to defeat Frieza. Because he was never part of that system. He would never even think about something like that for anyone, no matter his race, no matter anything. While Vegeta had to die while still in that system. And same with Bardock to a greater extent. He had to die in that system. And that's what the real tragedy is. And when Vegeta reawakens, he's reborn into a society that doesn't believe in that anymore. So he's able to change. He's able to be reborn in a way. And I think that's really cool. I think the idea of the Saiyan hierarchy is really, really interesting, in particular with how they talk about it in this first fight. And it becomes even like a literal visual metaphor when Vegeta turns into a great ape and he's directly staring down at Goku, and Goku realizes, oh, that's the monster that killed my grandpa. It was me. Like, I am this Saiyan monster, but now I'm something completely different. Like, I'm not that.
That's exactly what I was about to get into, right? Because that's the big part of this entire battle, is how much this sets the tone for what we know about the Saiyans and how it affects Goku, realizing while he still lives as a human, the otherness to him now has a definition.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when he's facing off against Vegeta post the Kamehameha and Gallic Gun clash, where Vegeta turns into a great ape, and he has that sort of like moment of self-atonement where he says, like, you know what, like, I'm sorry, Grandpa Gohan, like, I didn't know that was me, but now I see this physical embodiment of the evil that ruined the person who loved me. I have to stop you.
But I love how he's willing to use it too through Gohan by telling Gohan to transform.
Yeah, exactly.
So he doesn't shy away from this truth, like this big truth that he's literally been confronted with. He's like, okay, gotta defeat this dude, and now I can't. So, son, you up?
Absolutely.
That is a misconception that I feel like a lot of people get from this, is that I see a lot of people talk about this battle and how Goku doesn't want to accept his Saiyan nature.
Yeah.
But if in anything, this is him completely saying, you know what, the Saiyan nature doesn't have to be what this man just told me what it is.
Exactly.
Or like he even tells King Kai, like before he even faces off with Vegeta and before he's revived, like King Kai's like, well, these are Saiyans, you know, this is a huge threat. And Goku's like, well, I should be good because I'm a Saiyan too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a good line.
It is. And Goku accepts that truth throughout this, even with every new bit of information that he gathers, right? And he sees Vegeta, someone who was willing to just casually get rid of the only person that was there to help him. And Goku being willing to, not even being willing, just naturally, relying on the help of Yajirobe, Gohan, and Krillin, right? It completely displays like the difference between the two, and how it's like, no, like this sort of way of living isn't wrong for Saiyans. It only makes you stronger to have more people to rely on.
And I would argue that the spirit bomb is like another metaphor for that same idea of like relying on others, and the human spirit that Goku has that Vegeta doesn't. That being able to collect the energy of everybody for this grander attack that's greater than the sum of its parts.
Exactly.
Yeah,
without Goku accepting Earth as his true home, we don't even get the ability to use the spirit.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect.
And what I think some people have kind of misinterpreted over the years, because we have this reputation now with the Saiyans that they are, you know, these trainers and they just live to, you know, get better and better and better, and they're these limit breakers. But that was not the truth before they did Goku. Like that was not the truth. Like throughout this fight, you'll see these notes in the manga and in the anime where Goku talks about, you know, just having this thrill, like when Nappa says he's gonna get serious with him, Goku's like, yeah, do it.
Yeah.
When he's smiling, like when he's fighting Vegeta, and he's like, I'm in a lot of trouble, but I'm excited. And Vegeta doesn't share that excitement. He's like, what the hell are you smiling about? Like, what are you happy for? He can't connect to that fact that Goku is like, I am getting the opportunity to be challenged in a way that I've never been challenged before. Like in the text says, well, maybe it's because I'm a Saiyan, but I disagree with that.
No, that's all you. That's all you.
It's your own personal clashes with the fact that you've never lost.
He never lost, and when he did lose, he accepted it and took it as motivation. Essentially, this whole fight, the first fight, is just perseverance versus determination. And like this lays the entire foundation for both characters. You see that Vegeta's determination to be number one, no matter what, his pride that can all turn it to a big incident. Like my man was ready to blow up the earth because he was getting, he didn't like it. He didn't like it. Where Goku was willing to put a big strength on, like a form of pain in his body using the Kaioken times 4. So it's like, it's a matter of, this is who you're gonna get. This is Vegeta. Vegeta's the guy who's gonna stop at nothing to get what he wants. And here's Goku, who's gonna throw everything he has until it's time for him to go. It's beautiful art. Beautiful art.
And you see the unraveling of Vegeta's cool because he continues to tell Nappa, we can't rely on the scouters. These guys manipulate their ki, but as soon as Goku manipulates his, he's like, wait a minute, not like that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, wait.
Man, we were seeing baby power levels of 2,800 or so. Now you moving up to the 10,000s. That's a little bit much of a problem.
Yeah.
When a nigga up Kaioken.
That Kaioken, boy, anybody could get it.
Yeah.
You have PTSD from Kaioken.
All Vegeta had to do was wipe his mouth. He was like, I'm bleeding?
Yeah.
Nobody makes Vegeta beat his own blood. Nobody.
Oh, hell no. fun, and I hope you enjoy it. It's over.
Yeah, man, my man got tight. He into his little rich bag, man. Got a little boy, country boy, and Goku. He beating up the royalty. Yeah.
It literally is like the trope you see with like it's Jonathan Joestar versus Dio, right? It's Dio being like, how dare you? Like, what do you mean you're gonna hurt me? Like, now you've gotta die, right?
Yeah.
It really is that entire, like, this rich, posh guy who really thinks he's the toughest around, only because no one's really had to challenge him, right? Or no one's like pushed him down and been like, hey, yo, like, really, your head's up your own ass, right?
Yeah,
it's only in this moment where he's like you said, Tiffany, he's not a limit breaker, because if he was a limit breaker, he would have said, oh, I'm so glad I get to fight against somebody who's as strong as, if not stronger than me. No, he questions his entire existence. He says, how dare you be stronger than me, you country poppy.
Man, he's on his little Karen pack with that one, man.
I'm the strongest in the galaxy. Like, I'm like, okay, bro.
Man, they kept on telling him fairy tales, man. King Vegeta told them every day, man, you're the pride of Saiyans. You're gonna represent. But
to be fair, I'm gonna be fair towards Vegeta real quick. Like, the amount of like attacks that Vegeta just took during the fight, like the dip in his power level just to make the artificial moon, the three times Kaioken, the 4 times Kaioken Kamehameha, the half power Genki Dama, getting slashed by Yajirobe, getting his tail cut off by Yajirobe, getting knocked in the head by Uzaro Gohan, getting landed on by Uzaro Gohan, like alive, and everybody was like, man, what is it gonna take?
Man, they jumped that boy, and you gotta respect it. That's his one claim to fame. Like, nobody, I hate it when people say, oh, well, Vegeta won this fight or Goku won this fight. None of them really fight and win anything at all. Exactly. Their fight is to represent something even bigger than that.
Goku just made sure that his friend didn't kill him.
Exactly.
That's it. Because by the end, Krillin, best friend of all time, for real. He's like, you got my first off, my best friend has been dead for a year. He just came back, and I'll be damned if you about to take him from me again. So he gets a sword, and it's Vegeta. Mind you, this is not a show where people die by stabbings.
No,
it's always been an explosion, a blast, a punch through the chest, something. Krillin was like, fuck all the blast shit, bro. I'm just gonna stab you.
But then said bestie tells you to basically betray your other besties by letting dude go.
Yes.
That's when we knew that Goku was a little bit insane.
That CTE kicked in crazy.
That's the real limit breaker right there. Like, I gotta beat him on my own authority. I can't have y'all help next time. I gotta beat him for real.
Yes. And then he says that he becomes a true Saiyan in its entirety, man. Because we are used to Goku versus Piccolo Jr. Yeah, he won the fight. He goes ahead and he offers to basically heal up Piccolo Jr. Crazy decision, right? But now we're on the receiving end, and mind you, like, he ain't beat the dude. He ain't beat it. Like, Vegeta's still alive,
right?
And yet he's still pleading. He's begging, like, no, I have to. This is the most, like, this is really interesting. Like, I've never felt like this before.
Yeah.
So it's just this whole perception on how he characterizes.
Basically, I gotta beat his ass again.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, you see it a lot. And that becomes a constant theme because, Majin Buu saga, after you hear what Goku says, like, I really wanted to fight Kid Buu, but on my own terms, my own strength. So,
So, that's exactly how this all ends, right? It's like, Goku allows him to just leave because it's like, yo, I have to fight him again on my own terms. And I don't really care so much about the fact that you think that he'll come back and kill us all. Because I think he's going to want what I want. And that's just for this fight. to happen again. And Goku, you don't know how fucking right you were. Because when you fast forward about a good 9-10 years, and Goku, after having been dead for the past 7 years after the events of the Cell games, has now got 1 day to be able to return to Earth, thanks to Uranai Baba.
Yeah.
Because he announces that he's going to be coming back to Earth for 1 day during the Tenkaichi Budokai, Vegeta, who had no interest in this little human competition, is now like, oh, I heard that shit, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. My man said, the last time we saw him was, oh, I'll never fight again.
Yeah.
Right.
Full of it, man. That boy full of it. But I get it. So once in a lifetime opportunity, because this man Goku's really hell bent on going back to the other world. So I get it. Kind of stupid the way how he approached this, but again, who am I to speak on Saiyan pride? You know what I'm saying? Who am I for you to act like that just to get this fight? And realistically speaking, we didn't have to go about it like that.
At all.
You had to do, you kind of he gets the donkey of the day, man. He gets the donkey of the day. I promise you, he gets the donkey of the day. And I get it. He redeems himself after that. But no, man. Vegeta, this is your second time, buddy. Second time that you are the result of a greater evil happening.
Right. Like a fight that was going to happen if y'all had just done things the right way. The first
Happen either way, yeah.
All you had to do was just beat the boar, man, and that's it. That's it. I mean, it was like, yo, I can't take this no more. Bro, the Majin Boots, what, in 1 day?
Right.
Yeah.
Less than a day.
Less than a day. The day ain't even done yet. Women had no patience whatsoever. Everybody's flexing their strength. You got Vegeta being poi. Goku overpowers Yakon with his ki. Gohan is, Gohan's a little bit rusty, but at the same time, he ain't getting washed. It wasn't gonna take you 24 hours? You kidding me?
Yeah.
Not even close. And that's the thing, right? Is by the time we get here, right? The thing is their battle was fated to happen one way or another that day, right? In the lineups of the Tenkaichi Budokai, there they are. First round, set to face off against each other. We would have had a simple little battle there if it wasn't for my boy, Spopovich and Yamu's both showing up with these M's on their heads, all jacked to the
jacked up to the gills. Y'all saw pre bulked up Spopovich. Hercule was putting them hands on him, man. You can't believe this man got on the grass and everything. How fast did you get that powerful? You ain't like that. I saw Mr. Satan beat you up. Mr. Satan gets smoked every time. And
people aren't realizing Vegeta is watching this stuff. He is observing this. This is all leading up to the Majin willful possession. He's hearing people be like, "No, these guys weren't like this last time," and this exponential boost in their power. He's
plotting.
He's tucking this in the back of his mind.
So by the time it's Videl versus Spopovich, and she gets brutally assaulted by him until Gohan decides to jump in and gets his energy absorbed. Now we've set the stage for our characters to be involved in the entire Majin Buu plot, because Shin, the Supreme Kai, has basically said, look, we gotta let these guys absorb Gohan's energy so we can see where the hell they're going. Because without knowing where they're gonna take that energy, we can't stop them from resurrecting Majin Buu. So we have the Dragon Team follow out to this separated area miles and miles away, where Babidi and the King of the Demon Realm, Dabura, are waiting for them. And they're able to lead Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta into these one-on-one battles with Babidi's minions, right? Goku faces off against Yakon and shows just a little bit of like extra strength in his attempt to feed him energy to be able to explode, because Yakon just feeds on energy. That's his whole gimmick. And Goku was just like, all right, let me power up a little bit and that'll kill him. Easy. But Vegeta notices that.
Yes. This is observation number 2 from Vegeta.
Because he's like, hang on, this man Goku, why are you that strong? I don't like it. Gohan winds up fighting against Dabura. And during this fight, Vegeta's getting agitated. However, I personally believe he's just acting out. Because at this point, it's not even like I don't think he even cares that Gohan isn't able to face off against Dabura so much that he's just like, you know what? If I act like an asshole, somebody's gonna notice this.
For sure. Like, he doesn't care. He's like, the only reason why I'm here is to fight you. Like, I'm not even, like, everything else is an inconvenience to him.
Exactly. And
I think he's still mad at the fact that Gohan surpassed him 7 years ago. And he still has that strength in him.
I see that.
So it's irritating for him because this is the man, this is a boy that spared and saved my life, because without Gohan, the planet Earth is planet gone. And I guess, like, I can see the frustration angle.
And Gohan saved him directly too. That's why our boy got his arm hurt.
Yeah. It's like Vegeta's doing the thing where he's using reality to sort of like boost how mad he is, so that way he can act out, right? And once Dabura is like, hang on, one of these dudes got a real bad temper. Hey, Babidi, you know you can use him, right? And so Babidi uses his magic, and Vegeta willingly allows himself to be possessed by Babidi, now becoming the Prince of Destruction, Vegeta.
For a steroid boost.
I feel it's important to mention that the possession drew out Vegeta's power. Like, it gave him a power up.
Yes.
It gave him a direct link to feed energy to Majin Buu based on the damage that he dealt to Goku and others. Like, it wasn't a possession of his decisions and his choices. We saw over and over again that he was in control of the decisions he made. He defied Babidi twice.
Exactly. Yeah. He only allowed himself to be possessed just for that power. And he doesn't even care that now that you're under Babidi's control, any power that you put out from battling, or any of the power that gets put out into you from being fought against, goes into resurrecting Majin Buu. He's one track minded on just, you know what? Now I get to fight Goku. But it's not so simple just yet, because they've been teleported back to the Tenkaichi Budokai. And they're like, what is Vegeta on? Like, yeah, he got possessed, but like, what does this even mean? And he tells Goku, like, Kakarot, we gotta fight. And Goku's like, is now even the time for all of that? And Vegeta's like, well, it is now. As he goes and kills hundreds of people in the stage. Kills about 200 people on the stage.
Jesus.
Out there in the rafters of the World Tournament. And it's wild, because so many people look at this as like, oh wow, he was just willing to show that he was willing to do whatever. But to me, it's like, you're going to these lengths that are unnecessary.
Bro, your favorite character is a punk, bro.
And he did it twice. The 200 people was the first
shot.
Yeah, the first shot.
Yeah.
That was just the warning shot. And Goku was like, yo, why would you do that? He's like, because of this. And then he goes and kills another few hundred people. And it's like, yo, like, your wife, your family is all in the stands. Like, what are you doing?
And your son is conveniently missing because you get preferential treatment and your son doesn't get to see you be an asshole.
You know, you're making some points.
I mean, you know,
it's cool.
I mean, Goten got to call his daddy a fraud to his face, but Trump, nope.
Trunks thinks that he's the perfect Prince of all Saiyans.
Yeah.
He was not hanging with that.
Even by the time he sees him again, he's just like, Dad, what's up? Like, what's going on? He has no context on the fact that like Vegeta has lost it purposefully.
Yo, your daddy got an M on his forehead.
He willingly chose to tattoo that on his forehead. Willingly. He ain't have to do it.
Grown man, by the way.
Yeah, grown man. Alleged prince.
It's just wild because like he doesn't, like you said earlier, this isn't even a power boost. He already could go Super Saiyan 2.
Nah, he couldn't.
He could.
He could.
Powers into Super Saiyan 2
I was
when the
always
fight
under the
begins.
belief that he could.
I didn't believe that.
He can.
I'm not giving him that, man.
I was under the belief that he could use the form. He just wasn't that good with it.
Okay, I can accept that because when he did transform, when Goku was on that BS talking about I'm gonna fight you in my highest
Yeah.
power.
You know what?
I can.
All right, I'll give you that.
That's what
even though I don't want to, I'll give you that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at it in the sense of Vegeta knows how to do it, but he's like, I'm not even as strong as Gohan, so he's clearly not like that strong with it. So he's like, you know what? Let me get as strong. He's thinking Gohan's the peak. Gohan at 9-year-olds is the peak, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, if I hit this power boost, I can at least be that strong.
Yeah, and then the power boost gets him like to a level that actually shocks Goku because Goku specifically said, I didn't know you were this strong. Well, he wasn't, Goku. You were judging him before the possession. So
he had the right assessment.
Yeah.
Up until that point. Right. Yeah. And so that's why I look at it as though like, he could do it, but he just wasn't that strong up until that point.
Yeah.
Right?
He took PEDs. He is not a real Saiyan.
Yeah, he's on HGH, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you could turn Super Saiyan 2, but you still need a little boost.
Are you not embarrassed? It's embarrassing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I would be too, man. You're the president of the race.
Everybody acts like Majin Vegeta is a god. I'm like, y'all, this is them.
Nah, you so
bro.
I clown on him every time
because he's literally just scared. Like, he's scared that he's happy, right? Like,
yes, I was just about to get it.
Oh my god!
Great segue, Smug, because that's exactly it. By the time these two even start fighting, and we get to any point where Goku's like, "Why would you even?" Because Goku gets it. He willingly let this happen. Why would you go about killing people and letting yourself get possessed just to fight me on this day? And Vegeta's just like, well, you saved my life. I don't like that shit. And my pride is hurt because you got strong. Your son was strong. How dare your son be stronger than me? Let alone you. And then here you are, just here for a day and just waving around your life and shit and in front of me like I'm not supposed to want to fight you. I've got a son now. I thought being like you was gonna be the right move. I got a son. I got a wife. That shit scares me because what am I supposed to do with that? I don't even know how to even enjoy all that. That's weird.
I've been on this planet for 7 years and I ain't caused no trouble in the last 7 years. What the hell is going on?
Yeah. And I'm so glad you said it like that, Smug. He's scared. This man is afraid to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
You one of them red pill dudes.
Oh, yeah, like I said,
get him out of here, for sure. Get him out of here, man.
For sure. Listen. My favorite character is the idea of Vegeta.
When they say he can't condone anything from the
of like, what murder? I'm like,
what murder?
All the murder. It's a wild dude.
Oh my god!
I do think there's something really cool about Vegeta representing that toxicity, that like extreme toxicity to such a degree that he he hugs Trunks for the first time after killing 200 something people.
Yeah.
But I wonder if like part of it was that he was chasing some sort of high, right? Like ever since he met Goku, it's just been like another mountain, like Cell, the androids, Frieza, just like boom, 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 and then nothing. Just 7 years of nothing.
Yeah.
Like he has the idea like, oh, Gohan was up there, like I could probably do that. But he doesn't see beyond that. It's like he learned he's like right behind understanding what Goku sees of like the mountain to climb is just a step. It's not like the end. Like Vegeta saw Gohan and I was like, that's it. Like I reach Gohan, I can beat Kakarot for sure. And he doesn't see that there's beyond.
He finds his whole life on how dare I have a mountain.
Yeah, perfect.
Like, think about this though. Like, just think about like the psychological toll like this took on him from like the first time they fought. Because okay, so Goku wants to challenge you. Like he's talking in Krillin's mind, so Vegeta can't really hear that this is like what Goku's saying. But you know, he's basically thrown down the gauntlet Vegeta has and says, I'm gonna come back and finish the job. So basically we know that some rematch is coming at some point. But like, think about everything that happens before we get to the Buu saga. Like, Vegeta is not even really worth the rematch.
Yeah.
Nope.
The entire time. Like, when Goku shows up on Namek, even before Super Saiyan, like when he shows up to fight the Ginyu Force, like,
Vegeta's in awe.
Vegeta's seeing that he's on something else, and then we get to the Android saga, and he just getting back-to-back Super Saiyan. Like, what the hell is going on? And we don't see him transform like for another 3 years. We don't know exactly when it happened. It may be something in some data book, but I don't really care about that. We don't know when it happened, and he finally transforms. But then, like, we get Goku fresh out the room of spirit and time. Like, you can't see me, y'all. Like, y'all.
He did punk him. I ain't gonna lie.
He did. You know what? The you can't see me part is so perfect because Vegeta is 2011 CM Punk for those who get it, and Goku is just 2007 John Cena at that point. Just like, yeah, I'm just here, just doing my thing, bro. Yeah, like, oh my god, yeah, wow, what a perfect analogy, Tiffany. Like, you made a great homage right there with that one. But you're right. It's something where at each point of the way, like, Goku is just going about his own way, and Vegeta is just like, I have to get stronger because how dare he even exist?
Right.
And it's just like, okay, but this is what you're defining yourself by? Like, so where do you get to have your own self-actualization and strength then? Exactly.
Like, it's crazy because like you really are following like this man's playbook. Like, you train three times the amount of gravity he trained at. You become a Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
You ascend the form. Like, you get a family. Like, ain't nothing working.
He's just like, yo, the math is wrong, but I got the equation is supposed to be there. Like, he's seeing 2 + 2 is 1 for whatever reason. And I mean, that's fine. Good for him. I like when Vegeta struggles. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Honestly, because to me, right, if we compare these two battles, and I have to also bring up before I go into the comparison, right? The anime does a lot of heavy lifting for this second one, man.
Gassing Vegeta up in that. Man slapping Goku, he could never.
You know, we had a discussion before the pod, and well, you know what? We got to bring it up. What is up with the undertones?
Why are they doing bondage?
What, isn't it on Crunchyroll? They got listed as a category.
Wow, that's wild. But that whole scene where he does the little like energy cuffs on the wall, that is not in the manga. That you can't find that in no panel. He goes up to him like in his face and is talking hot shit and just a little, and it's like a little like sassy slap. Like, it's not like a like fuck you. Like, it's like bah, bah. Yeah, Goku. It's like, what is going on, bro? Like, the animator was having a
it was just gassing up Vegeta as per usual.
Even the
Man.
dialogue kind of nasty because he rolls up on Goku and he's like, "I thought you were gonna take care of me quickly," and Goku's like, "That's what I'm trying to do."
Vegeta's so funny.
That's the way you want to go about it. And I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? Like, the thing about it is, the thing that pisses me off about the second fight is that it's just Goku is on straight BS. Like, he's like, I'm gonna put you down quickly, and I'm gonna take my strongest, I'm gonna use my highest power from the start. Why are you lying?
That, especially in the anime where he says, "Wow, Vegeta, we're on an equal plane."
Yeah.
And I'm watching that, and I'm like, "You liar! You fucking liar!"
He even says it in the manga because that leads to the whole, like, dang, you must have trained even harder than me. Why are you lying?
Yeah, he was doing his cousin from another mother a good favor. Like, you know what? I ain't gonna let you. I'm gone for one day. I'm here. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna let you feel bad, man.
Goku, no, that's actually a common misconception. He didn't do it to spare his pride. He just did it. He's like, I'm not gonna run my clock out on this dude.
Yeah, for sure. And that's how I look at it too. Is that like, because he was just like, you know what, Vegeta, do your thing, whatever. Like, we can fight, but if he really gave a fuck about his pride like that, like, he would just let him win.
Yeah, Goku still won a fair one.
But I mean, I'm just saying, like, if that's what he was caring about in the moment.
See, the way I look at it, I think that Goku did, like, to some degree, he wanted to fight Vegeta. I think it's the same way with, like if Piccolo now said to Goku, "Hey, I really want to fight you," Goku would take it, and he would fight him on like a similar level.
Yeah,
like,
he does that a lot.
But yeah, like, he has Ultra Instinct or whatever. He could probably beat Orange Piccolo. I don't really, but you know what I mean. And to some degree, like, Goku really did think like us Super Saiyan 2s, like, Vegeta is really good. Like, Vegeta like killed himself to train for this, and Goku can appreciate that. Like, there's bigger issues, and I think Goku, to some degree, was lying to himself and saying like, yeah, I actually do want to finish this quickly, and I just want to get this done with and defeat Buu or stop him or whatever, or at least see what he's made of. But at the same time, I think he was like, but fighting Vegeta's kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
He was smiling and smirking. He was enjoying it.
Yeah. Goku's a little bit of a romantic, really, when it comes to fighting. So I'm not. I think he really wanted to just fight Vegeta on equal footing, and possibly, if Majin Buu were not to hatch, I do think that Goku eventually transforms. And beats the hell out of Vegeta. Mm-hmm. But due to circumstances,
that is exactly what ends this. It's just once they sense that Majin Buu's been resurrected, Goku's like, hang on, bigger issues, bro. Like, nah, like, we gotta go take care of that guy. And I like how Goku's a little bit teases what their eventual, lining up is gonna be by saying, I think if the both of us teamed up together, we can stop them. And then right in that moment, Vegeta's like, I'm not hearing that shit. Knocks him out, right? Takes his senzu and goes and tries to deal with Majin Buu himself.
And I'm like, bro, you didn't even have to die. Like, you and Goku could have just tried. Like, he got rid of everybody that wanted to help him. Like, Goten and Trunks. Like, he was like, no, because he the instant remorse, like, even like during the fight, but especially after the fight, like. Soon as Goku clocks him on actually caring about his family and not being fully possessed, that's when he kind of plays him and was like, all right, we can stop the fight. And then he knocks him out. Like, he knew, like, it's like we're seeing the dying embers of the Vegeta from the first fight.
Yeah, he's burning out, man. He apologized for Gohan. Like, he thinks Gohan is, like, he's dead. So, for him to apologize, like, He feels like he owes it up to.
Yeah, he's like, oh
That's
shit! Like this has gotten to a point I didn't expect things to get to. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't know this was gonna really resurrect that motherfucker. I just thought he was fucking some magic bullshit. You
Yeah,
know?
but Vegeta is just a 4chan troll, and he just thought that it wouldn't get that serious. And Majin Buu was the SWAT team. That's just it. Did a little bit too much trolling, and yeah.
That's exactly it, though, man. It's something where like these two fights, like they've got complete differences in theme, right?
Yeah.
You know, the first one we've got just the entire idea of what a Saiyan is and what a Saiyan, quote unquote, has to be versus what one can be, as opposed to this is just Vegeta's pride and Goku flippancy. Like, I don't know, like Goku at this point is just kind of like, hey man, like look, you kind of forced me into this corner and I'm happy to do this, but I don't need this as much as you need this.
Yeah, and that was basically Vegeta's standpoint. Like, he thinks when they fight on the Saiyan saga, like, bro, after they let him live, okay, I'm gonna pack you up. It's not like I want to fight you again. Really, I'm just gonna go ahead and get the kill that I know I could have got. Goku's the one that's really striving for that fight because this is the first time he's ever been his ass beat like that. You turn it around to how many odd years later, it's Vegeta that somehow got the determination from, I guess, Goku's past endeavors. Like, hey, now I really want to fight him. I really got to prove to him, for whatever particular reason, you can't be two number one Saiyans. It's got to be number one and number two. So it's just a kind of a nice, funny dynamic.
Mhm.
One wanted to fight, and then by the time it came for the fight, it's like, yo, Goku's not even think of it as a high priority, man. Like,
And you know what's so hilarious is the fact that Goku is dead.
yeah, man. Like, what do you get out of that, man?
Like, Goku is dead. Like he's dead. I mean, you could for all intents and purposes tell everybody that you the number one Saiyan. Nobody
will know. Like, about just want to fight a corpse, and the corpse, like, legitimately, like, he's just like I said, I'm pretty sure Goku wanted to just fight on equal terms with Vegeta because he could have packed him up and we wouldn't even have this issue.
The necrophilia of it all.
Yes.
Yeah, Vegeta's a twisted motherfucker for sure, man. It's something where, you know, in the beginning we have Vegeta's obsession with power just basically intensify from their first fight, whereas Vegeta, a lot of people will say this fight is why Vegeta winds up recognizing that Goku's number one, and like I feel like the seeds are kind of planted.
Yeah, slowly.
But this isn't what does it for sure.
No,
like he goes off and kills himself against Boo because that was the only
That
movie
was the only
gonna work.
option. Like,
That was not it. Like I get the whole like, hey, like, you know, you take care of your mother and, you know, like, even you, Kakarot, you know, all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
but,
nonsense.
yeah, in the end of it all, it doesn't really change anything.
Yeah, absolutely. He is who he is.
And
He
that
just,
was still him biting off of Goku. Take care of mom.
yeah.
Like we already did that in Cell.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
really is just following the playbook, but his stupid self, he forgot. I guess 7 years is a lot. He forgot that most Dragon Ball villains can regenerate. So he went ahead and followed the blueprint. Goku set the foundation. I'm going to save the Earth by simply just transforming all the way over there. I'm going to take him all the way across the galaxy. This man said, I can't do that. I don't know how to do any of that. So it's the best thing possible. I'm going to blow myself up. For whatever reason, he thought that was going to be like, bro, you fought against Cell. You saw Cell get whooped Kamehameha to death, like, and came back. You don't think Boo's like? You know, Vegeta's kind of stupid. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He kind of stupid, bro.
It's only after he gets his shit pushed in enough to where he's like, you know what, Kakarot? Now that now that we've both gotten our lives back and like I've got a little bit of clarity on this whole situation, damn, maybe I should just keep copying you and not worry about it so much. Because that's really where the "you are number one" comes from. It's him realizing if I don't fucking stress so much, if I don't act like such a dickhead, then maybe I might be able to get a little bit further somewhere. It's him just realizing, yo, like this whole like taking myself way too serious and just sort of like enjoying the fight and just being like even keel might get me further than how I've been.
Yeah, he's finally learning that how to get stronger. He thought that Goku was the epitome of strength. That's why he chased it so much. Goku is the litmus test. He's never fought somebody like this. The person that was stronger than him was Frieza, and Goku took him out, however you want to say it. But yeah, Goku is his litmus test of strength.
That's why I think
Goku wants to surpass himself, essentially.
Yeah, I think that's why it's important when talking about the Majin Vegeta fight to talk about the opposite of it, which is Vegito. I feel like Vegito is like a direct reflection of that moment, where Vegeta finally comes to terms and is like, okay, I need to team up with Kakarot. He doesn't have to be my enemy at all times, and they completely think that they're gonna be gone forever. Like, Vegito is not Goku and Vegeta. Vegito is his own person. Like, they were going to disappear into something greater. And I think it's really interesting how the relationship changes after the fusion. Because, and I think this is where the idea, and why I appreciate Super's relationship for Goku and Vegeta, because I think from that it evolves into, instead of Vegeta just chasing after Goku nonsensely, and Goku just kind of ignoring him, it like their relationship changes into something like I feel is a deeper understanding of how do I put this? Like two friends shooting the shit with each other. Like when Vegeta says, "I'm going to surpass you in Super," it doesn't feel like it's out of malice or jealousy. It feels like I'm like, you're my friend. And I bet I can beat you at this. I bet I can beat you at this game.
It's like, damn, you just got that new sports car? Shit, I'm about to go get
exactly.
We gonna go see who can do a quick quarter mile.
It's healthy competition.
And that's what I really appreciate. And I think that Vegito moment, I always like to headcanon that them being Vegito is really what made them understand each other. And I was talking to I was talking to my friend about it the other day, and I don't want to speak for Toriyama, obviously, but I get the feeling that he had something like that in mind, because for a few chapters there, it feels like he's drawing Goku in a more Vegeta way. Like he forgets the Super Saiyan 3 bang at times, and it's just very bizarre. And like Vegeta starts talking in a more playful way, and everything just changes. And I think that's also reflected in how Vegeta changes, and he starts to have masters, and he starts to like learn new techniques and be more like Goku. While Vegeta has the opposite, where he's like, I kind of need to do some things my own way and come up with my own style. While Vegeta's trying to learn from other people a little bit more. It's like they kind of meet in the middle more, and I think that's really interesting.
That is true. That is very true.
That hypocrisy though is still alive and well, because when he wants to kill Boo, good Boo, and Satan at the end, I'm like, have you learned that?
Remember CTE, man.
They literally just gave you you just got chance after chance after chance, but they don't get a chance. What's wrong with you?
Anyway. Yeah, he's still broken in the brain. Yeah, for sure. It's just that fusion healed a little bit of his poison, just a little bit.
He does acquiesce to Goku saying, "Leave him alone, let it go." He does it without all that attitude. So yeah,
and that's why I like, as much as I don't feel like the "you are number one" is what a lot of people define it to be, as like it was something that kind of grew into it. I feel like it's just this moment that has to happen in order to grow their bond beyond it just being Vegeta constantly chasing her.
Yeah, he didn't think there was like a competition or race. It was just like, okay, we're not gonna say this is number one, number two. This is just, okay, whoever's stronger is obviously the strongest. Now it's like, okay, I acknowledge you. You've been winning a lot of races, bro. I acknowledge you as the person that won the race. Now I'm here, and I promise you, I'm gonna catch up to you. I ain't gonna do things like I did before, but I promise you, once I copy your style, your whole flow, I promise you I'm gonna be up there with you. Promise you. And it happened a lot. I mean, it happened before, prior to even Super started. Like, you saw the seeds. Vegeta get Super Saiyan. Oh, Vegeta might be stronger than Goku.
Yeah. And it's so funny because it's like at that time where he kind of could have proven himself, Goku got the heart virus.
It's so crazy.
So it's like you can't even really put it to the test if you have the stronger Super Saiyan or not. Like,
that's why he was so pissed for the whole time. He's like, I finally have my chance, and then you die.
I finally have my chance, and then you go into the same room I did for less time, and you come out way stronger than me.
Yeah, man. Literally, I did everything right. I did nothing wrong. And Goku's like, of course, I'm just me. Still not getting it. He finally realizes, oh, they're saying Super Saiyan because they're trying to get used to the form. Actually, so they don't have to. Oh, that boy's a genius.
He's rude as hell though, because you tell these boys to go back in the, y'all can go back in the time chamber if y'all want to.
Yeah.
If y'all want to, but I'm about to go home and make a baby with my wife.
My man, he's just brutally honest.
Yeah, he's like, look, this is the last chance I got for a vacation, so I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, y'all have fun, man. It's 10 days. I'll enjoy them, bro.
And then he didn't even really have to go to Corns and power up. Like, that was just twisting the knife, but
Yeah.
I see you know what? A lot of people don't give Vegeta his credit. Not to go off topic, but I feel like it all culminates to Majin Vegeta. But nobody they don't really give Vegeta his credit. They always reference the, you're number one, you're the best, whatever. But Vegeta actually says something similar when Goku's fighting Cell. He said, he says, as much as I hate to admit it, I admire him. I worked as hard as I could, and I couldn't get to this level. So, I feel like he deserves a little credit for that.
He was on his way to getting there.
He was on his way, and then Goku died. And
Then he's like, well, fuck all that shit. Yes, how dare your son be stronger than you?
Son?
I don't care about that one.
Yeah, exactly. wrong saying. Sorry.
These two knuckleheads, bro. These two complete buffoons that it don't matter what they do in any sort of adventures in the future, man, I'm here for them. Okay? There's always gonna be something that says okay, now this is a whole different take on these characters, and now they're doing something goofy. But when it comes to this anchor that made these two what they were back in the end of the original Dragon Ball run, this stuff here is really the makings of two amazing characters.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I feel like no matter what happens in the future, even if you get stupid stuff where oh, that's nothing like what was intended for these characters, the original writings for this rivalry, for this combination, for these two people just ready to fight each other in any given moment, man, I always appreciate it.
Oh, so you saying you don't like when Vegeta does his whole Sasuke gimmick with the atomic nonsense? Man. I'm gonna ease up on Toyotaro, man.
Toyotaro clearly is a fan of Naruto, is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
He's clearly
man.
Vegeta, one of these days, is gonna be no, I'm gonna be the shadow protector of the earth.
Oh my
Just
God.
like he was in GT, and then I'm gonna be yo, yeah, we've come full circle.
It's there, man. It's there. My man talking about that tone. Yeah, when I die, I'm gonna go to hell, yada, yada, yada. Bro, you got your halo removed when they wished for everybody to be brought back.
And
what are you talking about?
And why is he always getting wished back on some kind of technicality? But, all right, that's a conversation for another.
No.
It
It goes hand in hand with the preferential treatment, man.
Yeah.
You can't ever be like, oh, you know what? We just wish Vegeta back the same as we wish back like Krillin. No, it's like, oh, wow, like a god just said, you know what? You deserve your body back. Why not?
Like, everybody else stays dead for like a year plus 7 years, but he dies 5 minutes later. He back.
His spirit gets FedExed, you know what I'm saying, overnighted back to Earth every time.
Like, how does like just even the fact that his soul and his body his soul gets preserved and he gets a new body, like in Otherworld, like you was really banking on him, like
I really appreciate Vegeta coming back to life like that. I think it's really cute. It's a cute message that he gets put in the good guys section. He gets he's a super class card now, and he's not an extreme class.
Yeah.
But
It's about time.
I think it's really cute. And I actually do really like the scene in the Moro arc where he's like, I'm probably gonna go to hell. I think it's interesting that Vegeta doesn't forgive himself, or like he doesn't think he's deserves that yet, because he's changed so much that he actually sees the errors of his way to some degree. And in the Granola arc, I think Beerus kind of says something like that, where it's like, you gotta stop like blaming yourself for dude.
Exactly.
Like you just like move on.
I'm still trying to comprehend all of that because it just seems so out of like. In order for his growth, I get that you have to find a good motivation for him. But the whole him talking like some emo Sasuke,
He's sappy as hell.
If that's not him, but it could be him. I just don't see it at all. It feels off.
No, I
feels
get
off.
that.
I like the very like simplistic way that Toriyama did his remorse in the Buu saga, like him apologizing to Gohan.
Yeah.
Yes.
And him like realizing that they had to make the wishes in a certain way to revive to include the people that he killed.
Yeah.
So like he did it like just a one-liner, just subtly, without like kind of putting his foot on the gas of like, I'm sorry and I'm self-deprecating or whatever.
And by the time we get to Moro, that's exactly what he's on.
I'm like, that was peak me not wanting to read Dragon Ball at all. Like Toyotaro was on his terrible bag. That was nasty work.
I'm interested to see how he gets handled in the future, man. How both these characters, like Goku is a legacy character at this point, so Goku's always gonna have the spirit of Goku. But I'm really just interested to see, like, you know, is eventually Vegeta gonna get Piccolo'd, and then we're gonna get like some other guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, is Broly gonna take the
weird
Vegeta position?
Just read Dragon Ball AF, and you'll see your depiction of what you're going to get. I promise you're gonna get exactly what was put on paper. It's there.
And I'm
that's not even a rumor possibility. That's gonna happen. I promise you.
And I mean, we talk about Vegeta waxing poetic about his sins, but people got to realize that, some people don't agree with this, but in my opinion, like, we really are kind of seeing like a whole different kind of like Vegeta anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Because even the whole like the bingo dance, like how soft he is, just with Bulma in general, like all of the Bulma Vegeta fan service that we've been getting over the years, like they weren't like that. They were just living in the house together, like roasting each other. Like they weren't like, it wasn't this like
wife guy Vegeta is definitely like a concept of the past 12 years.
So it's like it's all kind of like different anyway. So I don't even know like I reason why I'm pointing this out is because sometimes I feel like people conflate like these, you know, new age Vegeta-isms with Z Vegeta, and I'm like, nah, y'all gotta realize that Z Vegeta, he was for himself. Like Bulma said he was training Trunks to surpass Gohan. This wasn't even father son like bonding. Like
Or
like,
he was just making the, like, he's just trying to make the strongest warrior. I get it. It's cute. It's real cute. But I don't really mind the new Vegeta-isms at all like that.
not
Like the dancing stuff, that's cool. Like, he's really trying to protect the Earth. When you come around and talk about, well, I'm probably gonna go to hell. I don't want to hear that, bro. I definitely don't.
So you've been there before.
You've been there, bro. And like I said, once they wait for everybody to come back, you got your halo, man. You would have been, everybody who was evil was not getting revived.
and he was taunting Yema. Like, he wasn't like on this whole like I'm going to hell, I deserve to be here. He was like, oh, you're restoring a thug like me, huh? And I'm like,
about to turn stuff up, man.
he was like, I might go back and cause even more problems. Like, he was still a menace.
That boy just a bad child, man.
What I'm curious about is how, because we were talking about the new kind of Vegeta, because in Daima, Vegeta feels a lot more like the DBS alignment of Vegeta, where Goku feels a lot more like his Z version, where he's like a little more critical, a little more analytical, especially when he's back into an adult. Like, he's like more tactical and serious. I don't know, it's like a weird difference in writing with Goku in particular in Daima, but Vegeta feels more consistent, so it feels like they just straight up want to keep that up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really interesting to see where they take stuff. Because I like Vegeta being more of a character, but I want to see where that goes in the long run.
Yeah.
Right.
If he gonna still get punked, then it's all for nothing. Like, if he getting punked, then I'm looking back in hindsight, and I'm probably saying all of this was pointless, and I really don't want to.
It's so interesting though, with where we leave off with Vegeta in the Buu saga, because at end of Z, like, he doesn't really, like, aside from his comment about them aging and staying more youthful so they can fight longer, but like, he doesn't really seem like he's really fighting. Like, when he decides to enter the Budokai, this wasn't like a predetermined decision. This wasn't something that he was like wanting to do. It's so interesting, like, like all this glazing, like in this new era of Vegeta, because I'm like, my interpretation is that he was kind of sitting on his ass for the last 10 years.
Yeah, he was chilling, man. And he was like, Goku apologized, like, sorry, we probably couldn't fight. He was like, yo, I really can't even, like, this is not even going to happen. Like,
Vegeta,
for our fight,
barely phased at the end of Z. That Goku was leaving. He's like, I guess. Like, our fight can't manage these stages. This little arena can't handle the fights that we're gonna have.
It all began with the is it the Kanzenman edition of the manga, where they had the little panel of Vegeta saying, "I'm gonna surpass you, Kakarot." Like, that's the last manga panel.
Yeah. In that original, he did not. He was like, okay, bye. Yeah, man. It's just interesting to see all these different renditions, but I'm just glad that he's whining a whole lot less, man. Like, even not to spoil anything for you, Tiffany, but like towards the end of Daima, like, there's a little there's a little conversation where like Goku's like, well, man, like, because Vegeta's like, well, how dare you get Super Saiyan 4? And it's like, Goku's like, well, you got 3. Vegeta's like, yeah, man. Well, like, that's Ultra Vegeta 1.
That's Ultra Vegeta 1.
That's my own, you know what I mean? That's not even that. Like, I like seeing him look at it as though, like, well, shit, I've got my own thing, as opposed to just being, damn you, Kakarot. Like, he's on it for a second, but then is immediately like, well, fuck you, I've got my own shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the Vegeta I want.
I like when he does his own thing, even if it's a form that people don't like, or whatever, like the whole, Evo Blue or whatever. Like, I love
sparkly Vegeta. I don't know why people are tripping.
I like when he does his own thing, because that's the lesson. Like, that's the observation that he makes in Goku, that Goku is trying to outdo Goku. Goku is in Goku's lane. So when he's in his own lane, that's why I don't really like the name of I don't really like Ultra Ego, because I'm like, you're doing too much.
Like, we just went through all of this good stuff. We're just trying to turn you into whatever.
He's doing
Generic anime man.
You're doing too much. You're doing too much. Like, it's just like, because it's like, I want him to get away from, like, even when he's doing his own thing, I want him to get away from doing it still in the context of Goku.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's got to be the next level of his evolution, because it's still like a lot of people say, well, you know, I don't know why people say, you know, Vegeta's obsessed with Goku and Super. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Like, he still is. He's still saying, I'm not gonna trail behind you, Kakarot. Why? Because I'm still holding you as this, like, litmus test. Like, when Vegeta stops doing that, Vegeta's gonna pop off. When he stops thinking like that, he is going to pop off. Like,
oh yeah.
And until as long as he keeps doing what he's doing, kind of in the context of Goku, like, you know, even asking him, why do you have Super Saiyan 4? Like, that ain't none of your business.
Yes,
Goku a grown ass man. Like,
you just said he was number one like a couple months ago,
Yeah.
bro. You knew what was going on.
Flip-flopping like a
You thought he was gonna stop?
It's like,
you thought he was
Nah,
done?
he thought once he said the number one shit, he's like, oh, well, shit, thanks, I'm number one now.
Yeah, you can catch up now.
Man, thank you guys for joining us to this week. This has been an amazing conversation on these two knuckleheads. Goku and Vegeta, man. Between the two of y'all, like, where can folks expect to find you? What do you have in the works right now that you're willing to talk about?
I've got a YouTube channel, SmugStick DB is the actual ad of the channel. But I used to make a lot of what if videos. Right now I've moved away from those really and really focused on more analytical and lore based videos. I'm working on some cool ones, like the history of the Frieza Force, as if it was like an actual military thing.
Oh man,
gathering as many things as I can from various sources, just to see if I can make a little timeline. That's the main thing I'm working on right now, but it's been fun.
that's sick.
that's fire.
Yeah.
How about you, Tiffany?
You can find me on YouTube at The Animated Mind and on Twitter, even though I am deleting the app. The only reason why I had the app open was for us to coordinate and have this conversation. I'm deleting the app because I need to work on my YouTube videos. I got a big slate coming up. I am actually doing the Herculean task of reviewing Dragon Ball chapter by chapter. There are some chapters that I'll lump together because they kind of coincide.
Yeah.
But I'm reviewing Dragon Ball chapter by chapter, and it kind of has like a self-improvement like kind of spin on it. So it's kind of like the cathexis of this whole conversation that we've had about staying in your own lane and trying to be better than who you were, you know, before. So my reviews kind of take a deep dive in Goku and how he embodies that from chapter 1. And I also have some videos coming up on. I actually have a video. It's one-sided. Goku and Vegeta are not rivals.
There you go. Perfect follow-up to this.
Yeah.
Funny that we had this conversation, and just some other videos that are coming out.
Very excited to see the both of y'all's work. Been a fan of y'all this for as long as I've been able to see your stuff. So I hope that everybody listening in is able to enjoy it as well.
Thank you guys. I love this conversation.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. It's been
We
super
should do this
fun.
more often.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime we have Dragon Ball conversations in the future, please feel free to share with us. Yes. Thanks everybody for tuning in through season 5 and tuning in today. This has been an amazing session with these two great content creators, and I'm very glad we got to wrap up the season with this one.
bye.
Bye.
I can't tell y'all when we're gonna be back. It's about to be Where in the World is Jay season soon. So we'll be back when we're back. Season 6 is on the way. Don't think that it's not. Season 6 will be coming. But until then, subs lie, dubs lie. We don't, never have, and never will.
Yeah, you know that.
We'll catch y'all later, man. Y'all be easy till next time.
Of course, it's us, never them.
All of us, never them. Peace.
I like your boys.